Peace and love, children of the sun. So tonight we're going to discuss Melly, the grave digger. When Dirk did that little post talking about, yeah, free TP and all that, and basically clowning on Lil Mark about the bus stop, that sent Melly into a rage. Next thing you know, Chino gets offed. Newski gets offed, right? Lil Boo from 600, he gets off. He was slipping in Jaro, right? I guess somebody named Shaq from 600 and Lil Rob from Lamb Ron. But another thing they don't never talk about is how D-Thang got hit up in the car the first time he got shot. And he was with Baby D, which I think is Dirk's cousin, and another individual. 3 people got hit up. 2 survived and maybe 1 passed. I'm not really clear, but that makes at least 4 people related to Dirk that got hit up, right? So that's shit that people don't really know about. So in this documentary, they really talk about the 7 bodies that occurred right when Melly got on Twitter or right after. Everybody playing police work or whatever. But I want to show this because everybody was talking about Vaughn self-snitching and KI self-snitching on Twitter. But a lot of these people who are doing these bodies and these murders, they got to tell somebody. They just got to run their mouth.
You know what I mean? They caught him, man. That shit look like a setup to me, bro. I don't see no other way, bro. I don't see another way. Ain't no pistols in the party. Y'all in the party, you know what I mean? He only motherfucker got a pistol on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wild.
Come on, man.
That was wild because the situation, you know what I mean? I tried not to speak too much on it because I didn't know exactly what was going on, but from what I was hearing and from what I was saying, it's like he was comfortable. I don't think bro would have been nowhere where he wasn't comfortable.
No, he was comfortable. He was on STL. You know, over there, like right over there where they got a lot of little Airbnbs over there, through them cribs, through them hoods over there, through them hoods and shit. It's a lot of white folks over there that bought all that property and shit over there. And they making them cribs out of Airbnbs and they let them motherfucking rent them out. So that's basically what they probably had. You know what I'm saying? But he in the party. They said they backdoored him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on, man. He's standing there, man. Niggas looking at him. I don't know if I'm seeing things or what, but I'm knowing niggas looking at him. They staring at him. They doing this. Oh, they got all type of shit going on the internet. To my old girl put her hand up, gave a signal. Niggas was laughing. No nigga was laughing. Dude was crying. Homie wasn't laughing in that motherfucking video. He was crying when they killed Shorty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen that.
Shorty got hit they say Shorty got hit 17, 8, down to 20 times. You can hear it going off. They hit him. They made sure he was dead. Because they knew if they didn't, it would have been hell to tell the captain. You know what I mean? You talking about Lil Reese, the Grand Reaper. Shorty a real Grand Reaper out here, and I don't even know him. But the way they talk out here about him, he a real Grand Reaper. You know what I'm saying? He's a real Grand Reaper, you know what I mean? He ain't do shit but, you know what I mean, basically just live life, you know what I mean? Shit like that, it's really fucked up here, you know what I mean? Everybody they going at it, you know what I mean?
That's what I was just about to ask you, bro. That was
when everybody was trying to figure out who had the most points. Was it going to be Tay Savage, King Von, or Melly? Everybody wanted to talk about Tay Savage's clout. They had already had documentaries on him, but people only really knew about Neef and Cess, until Trap Lord Ross drops the documentary and posts these so-called attempts and bodies off of an old account that was deleted, right? Now, Tay Savage told us about the 2 attempts that he beat and the 2 bodies that he beat. We see the old tweets from people from 757 saying that Tay Savage was the only one really riding for Welch's world since Welch was died, right? Since Welch was dead, he was the only one riding. You had J-Mane talking about he don't really know about Melly or Von, but he's seen Tay Savage in action, right? Then you had Tay Capone, who was down with Welch World because his cousin, and he was close to Tay Savage. And he's like, you know, Tay Savage was a savage before everybody started turning up, and he was the first doing it. And he said eventually Von caught up when it came to the bodies, right? And everybody's like, well, Von had about 10 bodies or whatever, right? Now, here's the thing. Nobody's speaking up for Melly because, of course, Young Money is the most hated other than the 60-30s. Second of all, while Tay Savage was locked up them 8 years, Melly was on the streets doing what he do best. While Von was locked up for them 4 years plus the other 3, that's 7 years he was off the streets. Melly was out here doing what he do.
Out here in the streets, all the car crackers linking with him, all the gangsters want to be his homie. And this is one of the questions I get all the time. And they like, man, is Tay like Von? Is Tay like Melly? Ooh, is it really real and this and that? All the things I hear about him, is it true? I'm gonna tell y'all this. Imagine, before everybody get to all the goofy fans, I talked to folks before I did this live with y'all. Anything I'm speaking on is the things that he cool with me speaking on, and we already hollered out previous to this live. But folks, first of all, I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, man, and I always be 100 about Melly, bro. But Melly, he did what he did out here. Won't take none of that from him. On the outside, he they biggest smoker. But he not on Tay and Von level. He's just not, bro. He's not on their level. And before Von grew up and did what he did out here, he wasn't on Tay level either. Tay was different when folks never answered. These my homies. So I was right there when all of us jumped off the porch, bro. Tay was doing this shit before us. I ain't gonna lie. He was who he was. He was how he was before we could get our feet wet in this shit. I won't lie to you, gang.
When a blog posts something like that with that caption, it make it seem like, oh, Tay Capone claims that he put in a lot of work in the streets like 051 Melly. Bro, Melly been accused of killing over 7 or 8 people, folks. Why would I ever be putting that type of target or a spotlight on my face or a target on my back, acting like I'm claiming I did more than Melly or put in the work Melly put in, bro? If I did do that, I wouldn't even insinuate it, folks. I wouldn't even insinuate I did what Melly did. Now, if I say I gave out belts, folks, y'all can make that what y'all want. But to say I'm on here acting like I did what Melly been accused of doing, folks, it ain't about what we could say he did, but everybody know what Melly been accused of doing and how much in his totality he's been accused.
And after. He was so reckless at the time that he would stop tweeting around the time that he would go do a hit. And the times would actually line up, doing a hit and coming back online after the hit, dissing of again. It all started with Melly's deep-rooted family that was heavily involved with gang activity, from his father and stepfather and even uncles and cousins. So it was no escape for Melly. He would attend Deuceable High School when he was in close company with Mickey Cobras. Plus his cousin Zico was a high-ranking 051 Young Money member. 051 Zico died on September 27, 2008. This was one of the first people that Melly lost that made him start killing. 051 Zico got into an altercation in the parking lot of a McDonald's in the 700 block of East 47th Street. THF Akey was locked up for this murder and still is locked up to this day. 051 wouldn't get back for Zico until 2012.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come now just to say thank you. Father, thank you for another day, another opportunity. And keep your realm around us as we travel these streets, Father.
You scared of the dark?
No.
I'm one of them type of guys that be in the dark waiting for you when you gotta go pee at night. It was February 2nd, 2012. This is the first alleged gang member that Melly took out. It was around nighttime when Shaquille Rush was in an alley in the 5900 block of South Cullinan Avenue when allegedly 051 Melly walked up on him while he was peeing and shot him multiple times. Shaq 600 was only 20 at the age of his death, and this would be Melly's favorite person to diss after he died. He would start dissing Shaq 600 only 4 months later on Twitter. The first tweet was on June 28th, 2012. Shout out to Young Money for making G. It's Shaq City talking about some ish y'all did to Young Money. Oh, I forgot y'all can. And he was replying to Justo from 600, who is now doing football numbers for murder. And this was only 7 days after Fathead from 051 Young Money died, which was a close member to Melly. June 22nd, 2012. Antonio Davis, aka Fathead from 051 Young Money, was in the 700 block of South Union Avenue when allegedly some 600 members will walk up on him and shoot him multiple times. They pulled up in a gray van and exited with dark hoodies. He was allegedly shot 8 times in the head, and after Fathead died, Melly took dissing on Twitter to a whole nother level, responding to members from 600 when a 600 member said, MD ain't good for 5-1 Young Money because they go get T Streets on Zico. Melly responded tweeting, LOL, talking about y'all did something, cause you, Brittany, and Shaq know how them shells feel. T Streets was a guy from 051 Young Money that was killed on November 10th, 2011, and he was allegedly killed by a 600 member. He was another reason why the war started. He would consistently go back and forth with 600 members on Twitter. He also went through the years continuously dissing Shaq 600. February 2nd is next week. Shaq Day turn up. This next murder that Melly allegedly committed, these tweets would line up perfectly to where as though he would tweet throughout the day, and all around when the murder happened, his tweets suddenly stopped for hours. May 31st, 2014. At around 12:19 a.m. the night before the hit, Melly would tweet out 11:19 for the loose screw me. Then around 1:35 a.m., he would tweet riding down 71st. A girl would question him though, how you go from laying down thinking to riding down 71st? He would reply, I'm in a van, D-face. Then at 3:43 a.m., he would tweet, I could have did a lot of bogus ish. That was his last tweet before he went to sleep. He would wake up around 10 a.m. because his next tweet was at 10:06 a.m. That would mean he got less than 5 hours of sleep. He suddenly went from riding with his nephew at 11:06 a.m. from telling a girl, I'll make you suck my toes at 2:06 p.m. This was the last tweet before Melly would go black for about 4 hours from Twitter. 3:20 p.m. MacArthur Swindle, aka OTF Nunu from Face World 079, who was also the blood cousin of Lil Durk, was sitting in a sports utility vehicle in the 700 block of East 87th Street when someone walked up and started shooting. OTF Nunu tried to get away, but crashed into a storefront nearby. Melly would hop back on Twitter less than 3 hours later with laughing emojis, which he tweeted this at 6 p.m. His next tweet went out at 6:50 p.m. saying, LMAO, who said he's looking for me? Then he would tweet at 6:54 p.m. emojis of somebody running from gunshots. 10:31 p.m. I'm bored as hell. This was the next day at 11:02 a.m. Dirk steady talking about Nunu was next up. Same was LA Capone too. They got Savage turned down like Lil Rob. Lil Rob was a Land Raw member that died on June 13th, 2013. And he was allegedly killed by a 051 member too.
Blood cousin that killed Chicago. Yeah.
Newski signing his deal like 2 days before he got killed.
Yeah.
Like how long have y'all we were talking about signing him before he actually signed his deal?
Like shit, we first time rapping.
After he signed the deal, like how'd y'all celebrate?
We didn't really even get a chance. Ain't nothing.
March 26, 2015. 2:07 a.m. I've been everywhere with 80 shots. Today, nobody was out. The next day on March 27th, 2015, which this would be the day that OTF Chino, which was a member of THF 46, would lose his life. He was also the manager of Lil Durk. 1:07 a.m. I'm tell right now. This would literally be an hour before OTF Chino was gunned down in the 8400 block of South Stony Island. 9:46 a.m. Only about 8 hours after OTF Chino died, Melly would go to Twitter again, saying they dropped that song, huh? Melly will ultimately be talking about the song that Lil Durk dropped with Lil Mouse and Young Scooter only 2 days before Chino died. And this was allegedly what really egged Melly on to get Chino out of there. This was a statement kill because Lil Durk was getting hotter and hotter on the music tip. As y'all can remember, Lil Durk was dropping songs like Purge, which now has over 13 million views. And we all know who Lil Durk was talking about in this song. Purge was also a song that tempted Melly to go out and kill. Just listen to it. Then he would tweet at 10:46 a.m. MF is funny as hell. Them pics stay popping up in my head. Back out here. LOL, this man funny. It ain't no 8 to 10, B. Young Money, we stay up. Then a 051 member would comment, OTF Chino equals Young Money 051. Remember, this was all tweeted the same day that Chino died. I see the hurt in their eyes. Around May 17th to the 18th in 2015, THF allegedly sent 15-year-old Raheem to do a hit on Melly. He allegedly shot him in the foot and grazed his head. After Melly got shot, he had a field day on Twitter about this. When they come again, tell him finish the job. Shout out to them cheap A Walmart bullets. I'm still in this ish. Some broke in couldn't buy no real bullets. I'm still outside every day. Feet shooters. Then on May 20th, Wait, did I just see that THF and OTF run the city? I'm dead, just come shoot at my feet again. Somebody from THF would respond, you know this our city? I don't even play the dead man game, but I just see ends too happy about my feet. It would be a lot of going back and forth with THF members over the next couple days. Plus, Melly was still outside op shopping after he got shot in the foot. He says, I ain't gonna tweak with an MF on here, period again. I'm just making them all suffer. Hashtag on Lil Mark. My feet, WTF. Ever since me and Bro got shot, MF is feel as though they want $1 billion on my son. He will go from posting pictures outside on somebody's prom day on crutches to continuously dissing THF. Melly would send out this last tweet on May 24th before going black for hours. At around 8:15 p.m. on that same day on the 24th, police found a 14-year-old boy shot and a 15-year-old boy in the 800 block of East 45th Street. The 15-year-old boy was dead at the scene and was identified as Raheem Dameron, aka THF Raheem. Melly got back on Twitter around 9:43 p.m. My feet hurting. I'm probably finna stay in the crib. Melly didn't diss Raheem too much after he allegedly got him. The reason why is 051 Earl was locked up for this murder, and he was allegedly on a hit too. 051 Earl only did 7.5 years for this murder, but got locked back up in 2018, and I think he's still locked up to this day. Melly was feeling untouchable and knew he had real savages scared of him in the streets, so he decided around Christmas of 2015 to run up on Shy Hoover in the club and snatch his chain.
Oh, that's foolish. That's crazy.
Nothing. I still took this by myself. When they section by myself, I took it. They was outside. I was in there by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah, he lied on his interview, saying we was brawling. We ain't had no damn fight, no hallway.
Now we get to scrapping over my chain. I'm like, with my chain, and they breaking it up. Now the move niggas standing in front of. Now all the niggas standing in front of.
He just came in the party. I knew who he was. He asking them who am I. They told him who I was. He's still in the party dropping whack. No, we don't do that. That's disrespectful when I'm around my presence. He said, shit, I just told him. Like,
Security!
Young Money. At first he said, I told him, I was Young Money, and I took it off his neck.
Nah. I'm like, man, this nigga got my chain. Why the security all us got us? Man, like, this nigga got my chain. And everybody standing right there like.
He come keep the door like, man, he got my chain. Woo me, get my chain back. Then he called security, get his chain back in the hallway. Then he told me to keep it.
November 26, 2016, Daquan Bennett, aka Bankroll Q, from the 051 Young Money set, was in the 8800 block of Self-Exchange when he was shot in the chest and was pronounced dead at the scene. Only a day later, allegedly, Melly got revenge. On November 27th, 2016, at around 2:03 p.m., Delvin Weston, aka Lil Del, from the Foley Boys set, was in the 8800 block of South Marshfield when someone fired shots from a dark-colored SUV. He was only 18 at the age of his death. Melly would go to Twitter an hour after this happened, posting a picture with a high-powered rifle. Then he would post, "I'm an army alone, finna go and change my clothes." Listen closely to what this 051 member says in this video that they posted an hour after this Foley boy member would die.
I went top on bro. You playing?
When you gotta get your girlfriend, you gotta be faithful, boy.
I got a girlfriend.
You gotta get like me. You gotta get like me. You got a
girlfriend in him. I'm out of that.
Then, 3 days later, Melly would allegedly slide again. November 30th, 2016. Trayvon Dickinson, aka Trayvon from the THF 46 set, was in the 6800 block of South Cornell at around 8:05 p.m. when allegedly Melly walked up on him and shot him multiple times. He was shot in the head and abdomen. Less than an hour later, Melly would go to Twitter. "You won't catch me saying F no dead person. That was me in 2011. 6 years ago, but it's always F them other ends, you know." Plus, they posted videos of him pouring up and celebrating hours after he was killed. Melly would lose some close people to him over the next couple years, which allegedly THF got back for Trayvon. Only 3 days later, they caught Curtis Noels, aka Sharp Mac, on December 2nd, 2016. Then they caught another high-ranking member on June 27th, 2017. His name was Curtis Posey, aka Kurt Mack. He was known to diss a lot and was there the night Melly snatched Shy Hoover's chain. The last person that Melly allegedly took out before they took him out was Tyrone Marshall, aka TY from GGE. On August 19th, 2018, Tyrone, 19 years of age, was leaning against a parked vehicle, talking to a friend when another vehicle pulled up and someone inside fired shots. At around 3:27 p.m. in the 4000 block of South Cullinan Avenue, he was shot in the head and was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center. Melly wasn't active on Twitter around this time, but when they took Melly out, it was September 1st, 2019. Some people allegedly warned Melly before he went to this party that some ops was going to be at the party, and Melly allegedly did a drive-by on one of their mother's houses, and around 2:45 a.m., Yarmel Williams, aka Melly, was in a party of a house in the 6100 block of South St. Lawrence Avenue when someone in a party opened fire on him, killing Melly at the age of 27. Many people are still dying of today over the murder of 051 Melly. But that'll be about it for this video. Make sure you like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and let me go down in the comments what y'all want to see next. And as always,
Can't Get Right must have went through there, slid, he caught Crump. Melly goes and gets rid of Ambry for dropping the low, and he gets Can't Get Right. Melly goes to the party, and they let 007 come through there and do what he did. And now Melly's gone. And 007 finna come home because ain't nobody coming forward. Even though it's caught on film, you can't really see much in the video. You just hear the shots and the screaming. So with this body and this pistol, that solves a lot of pieces to the puzzle. But that clears Dirk of anything. And it doesn't talk about how there was 8 people from THF that either lost their life, or the 8 people from 600, or the 4 people from Taekwon World, or the 11 people from Young Money. That's 31 people, man. Right? And maybe only 2 of them was attempts. The rest was bodies. But this doesn't talk about how O Block, Lamron, Shields Gang, Dipset, Welch World, Front Street, Dro City, Jaro, EBT, STL, OBN, Geo Drive. This don't talk about all of these different groups, man. This is just mainly focusing on THF, 600, and Taekwon World. But yeah, man, this dude Melly is the grave digger, man. I say it looks even to me. I've seen something where they try to say he had like 40 bodies or something like that. That ain't true at all. That's cap. But he definitely is up there with Vaughn. We not really confirmed on everything Tay Savage did. You know what I'm saying? It's all alleged. All of this is alleged. You know what I mean? Even though Melly did get picked up for a couple bodies and ended up beating him, he really was the slickest of the slick. because he beat everything. Vaughn was almost convicted. He got lucky that Mike had retracted his statement. It's sad, man. This ain't to glorify none of this, man. You know, this is just to show, you know, what really took place. You got to pray for Chicago.